I don't think that the Warriors will ever win a championship again with Stephen Curry and the typical cast. I don't see them winning a title in the next 10 years. Curry's already 32, so he's definitely got at least like 3 like really good years left. Once you hit 35, you're going to start declining a bit. I'm not saying he's going to fall off a cliff or anything. Also got to remember Curry runs a lot, okay? He runs a lot during the games. But the main reason why I say they're not going to win a championship anymore is honestly for a couple of reasons. But the main reason is Klay Thompson, right? Having Klay Thompson right now pretty much puts you in title contention automatically, especially since outside of the Brooklyn Nets, every team is a big two rather than a big three. So considering that everyone's a big two, with Klay Thompson, the Warriors are serious contenders, like serious championship contenders. But the fact that he tore his ACL a couple years ago against the Raptors in the finals in game 6, and then the year after he's trying to come back, everyone thinks he's finally ready to come back after that year that it takes to rehab from the ACL injury. Well, wait a second. Now he tears his Achilles, which, remember, the Achilles injury is the worst because the Achilles it's a connective kind of muscle. You can feel it. And it's so vital for the movement of the leg and the foot. It's so huge. We've never seen anybody really come back from that injury, guys. This is a sort of injury where it's unprecedented to really return from in any way that you used to be. Now, Kevin Durant is doing it right now, but you guys see the hammy that he's pulled right now. He's resting for a while, which kind of says that, hey, this might be a little bit something you really want to be careful on. Remember, ACLs are already pretty tough to come back from in the NBA. I'm not saying it's impossible. In the NBA, it's pretty tough to come back from just an ACL. But on top of that, you have an Achilles tear. So people are banking on, there's a conversation going on right now as to whether or not the Warriors can win another title, like similarly to what they're structured as, like the Steph Curry era, right? The idea that Klay Thompson will even be able to play is a tough one. You're talking about a guy just tore his Achilles after tearing his ACL. What makes you think that he's going to be able to play healthy enough? And B, what Klay Thompson are we getting here? Are we going to get the elite defender, an amazing, no dribble 3-shooter? I highly doubt it. Those kinds of injuries are just so fundamental. I really don't see him being enough to put them over. And so considering all of those factors, you really have to find replacements for Shaun Livingston and Andre Iguodala. Those are two. Andre Iguodala was a huge piece. If in 2015 they didn't insert Andre Iguodala into the starting lineup, they lose to the Cavs with just LeBron, right? Like that Andre Iguodala guy who can play defense, really score. Andre Iguodala had ice in his veins. He would drop clutch-ass buckets. Shaun Livingston was a very reliable, mid-range guy. A veteran. You need those kinds of players. You're going to have to find replacements. But more importantly right now, you also got to look for a second star. Draymond is underrated in that he's really important in their offense, but he's not a star player in terms of like a Klay or a Curry or anything like that. He's not. His role is more specifically, it's an integral role in terms of the offense to getting screens, getting open looks. But you need that really second guy, which was Klay Thompson. So, if they had gotten Giannis, that would have been a big piece where, they could actually win. But Giannis just signed a big contract. So I don't really see them being able to get Giannis, especially if it's like a James Harden situation. I don't see them having enough capital to really trade away. Unless, they have that, they're going to have a good pick, potentially the Warriors, but, I don't know if that's going to be enough. The draft is hit or miss. You got James Wiseman, of course, so that's going to be helpful, man, but how long is James Wiseman going to take to really get into what you need to really be able to win right now? I just can't see it happening. Also, what you got to understand is, man, like the Warriors kind of popularized a totally new form of basketball that is starting to die out in a lot of ways. That 3-point type of game. Once there's a new sort of program or style inserted into a sport, it'll take a couple of years for other teams to adjust and coaches to figure out game plans against them, and then it kind of starts to die out. So we're kind of seeing it start to die out a little bit. Obviously the 3 is really dominant still today, but you see a lot of mid-range guys, your Kawhis and your DeMar DeRozans and, those kinds of guys. Obviously you got your 3-and-D players. But I just think I think the Klay Thompson injury was really the ender for them, but I just can't see it happening because Klay just isn't going to be good enough when he comes back, and I can't even bank on him being healthy. So I look at the Warriors in the future at best being like a conference finals appearance, pretty much. Um, but as currently, around what they are right now, I cannot see them winning a championship. Even if you were to insert Klay with maybe just the ACL tear and he fully healed back, they're contenders. But now that he had the Achilles tear plus the ACL tear, it's a wrap for Klay. He might come back. If he's even able to come back, he'll be a complete shell of himself because those injuries are just killers in basketball, essentially. There's just no way you're going to be able to do it. There's no way I see the Warriors winning again in the next, 10 years. I don't see it happening. They just don't have enough. I don't know how they're going to get that guy. They might be trying to get D-Book. I don't know if D-Book is going to want to come over there or not, but you would have to get another star. That's what you need, and that's really hard to do, man.